lot of styrofoam in here.
There's a lot of pieces here, and although the instructions say to put together the cabinet first, I think I'm going to put together the 5 drawers just so I can get all these pieces out of the way.
Now the hardware is pretty clearly labeled, which is nice, the MHFEDC, so on. As are all the pieces. Now they're labeled with stickers on the sides. So we're going to organize all these so they can come together really easily. And I do know that we're going to need the E-side screws. So I'm going to be removing all of these. It's pretty basic assembly. We're going to be taking all the size 8 pieces. You can follow the groove. We're going to take the 10 pieces. You can again look at the groove, and they'll be screwing in like that. And then the 9s will be going there. So it's just going to be a U shape. So we're just going to screw the end pieces 8 and 9 to the back piece 10, so this groove lines up. So that's it. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. We'll be sliding the bottom in here momentarily. Just put 5 of them together like this. Next, we're going to take the front panels, and by putting these bolts that are labeled E from the back, they're going to attach right to these drawer pulls. Now you want to make sure that these drawer pulls have an L shape. You want to make sure that the L shape pointing down on this side is toward that groove. So hopefully, when I grab that to open it, that groove indicates the bottom.
5 drawer fronts are assembled. Now let's put the drawer together.
We'll start by putting one of these cam bolts in each of these 2 smaller holes. That's easy, they go in just like screws. And these cam bolts are what's going to hold the drawer together. The cam bolts work in conjunction with these cams. So what we need to do is insert a cam in the side with the arrow pointing up. We do that on each side. The cam in place, the arrow pointing up. Then we are going to, oh, that's one. Put the dowel rod in the hole that is not the cam hole. Just like that. And we're going to slide the bottom on. Make sure it seats nicely. There we go. And then we're going to put the drawer in place. So the cam bolts go into those cam holes. And then we can tighten those with about 1/4 of a turn. That looks like 1/2 a turn. We'll tighten it. And that'll pull everything together. And there's our drawer. Nice and tight. You'll notice there's some holes here. That is going to be for the drawer slides. Okay, here's where it gets really tricky, because this drawer slide comes together and we have to take it apart. So you'll notice one side slides into the other. They're calling the smaller piece drawer left side. So you got to release that lever and pull it free. So the smaller one they're calling drawer left side. The larger one they're calling drawer right side. Okay, keep that in mind. That's going to be important as we assemble this. Also, where that rubber stop is right there, that's the back. If you think about it this way, when the drawer slides in, it's going to stop when it reaches the back. This goes on the drawer, this goes on the cabinet. So now we're going to take what they're calling the drawer front left. And we want to pay attention. It's the part that has this bend on the end. You can push that right up against the front door panel, and then we're going to screw that on. And it really is too bad because they have a great big slot here. And so there's room for a lot of latitude in this, moving it up and down. I don't like that because that tells me that later on we might have to make some adjustments on this. But for now I'm going to try to get it as centered as I can. And I'm going to do the same thing back here. And it's just like that. So I pushed it right up tight against. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side. So it's going to look like they're opposites because on this one, the lever will push up, and on this one, the lever pushes down, but that's what the instructions say, so it should work. All right, now we're going to put all the drawer slides in. Remember, they call these drawer slide right. All you have to remember is this is the back, and that rubber bumper goes to the back. So we're going to line all of these up. The screw is going to go in that front slot, and the back one is going to go in the oblong or horizontal slot. And now it's time to bring this together with this cross piece. So we're going to put a dowel rod in there. We're going to put a cam in here. And then we're going to put a cam screw in here. And it all comes together just like this. And we tighten it up. And we're going to put the other side on it. And these two sides will be connected just like the letter H, with the cam bolts and dowels in place of what will become the underside of the top. All we need to do is pick this up and make sure that the notches line up. This is the bottom. We know that because it has the holes to accept the wheels. And this time we're not using cams or cam bolts. We're just going to be using the dowel rods, and we're just going to screw this on. So we're going to take the back piece, slide that into the groove, and then making sure the groove aligns, just going to push that down onto the dowels. And then we're going to screw in the four corners. At this point, you would screw on the four caster wheels. I don't want mine to roll, so I'm just going to buy some adhesive rubber pads because I'm using this underneath my table as a desk. But you could put the four casters on very, very simply to screw them into these four holes. Doesn't take a big explanation. They just would screw on just like that. And now using these plastic pieces, we're going to tighten up the back. Now, if you don't put these on, it's not going to make a big difference, but your back might be loose and rattle a little bit. Let's get a little closer look at these. So you see it has a bottom lip, and that lip will fit between that gap, right there between the back and the side, and then the screw goes in, and it just tightens that up a little bit so the back doesn't rattle around. So there's no specific place for them. You just put them roughly in the center and near the bottom on either side. There are 6 of them. I'm finding it easier to put the drawers in when it's on the back because then I can look at both of these rollers, tracks, and make sure that they are in place. It's a little tricky, not too bad. All right, this one is off a little bit. If I can get that lined up better. There we go. And now, when you put that in, you do have to give it a little push so it engages those rollers, the sliders. And there we go. Let's put it upright. See how it works. Well, the doors work. That one's a little tight. You have to roll really good. That middle one, oh, there it fit. I think it just had to get slipped in with the rollers. So, very nice. This is actually a very nice cabinet, and I don't have wheels on it. I am going to add
some rubber feet on the bottom because of how I want to use it.
This wasn't a difficult build. It was a lot of repetition. If you can do one drawer, you can do all 5 of them. Just take your time. Probably the trickiest part was on those glides, the drawer sliders. So pay close attention to those and you'll do just fine. As always, I encourage you to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you here next time on the Average Me channel.